And you need to know what you're promised because life happens. And that's this unseen handle that's supposed to give you some confidence, some peace, and some joy in the middle of your situation. So get back into that word so you can find out and remind yourself what he promised me, because you got to hold on to that when things get tough. Now, maybe you go, well, that's fine. I know some promises. I'll tell you my problem. Here's what he promised, and here's what my life looks like. And they don't match up. What am I supposed to do with that? Oh, he promised me that. Does that look like victory to you? I get it. It's real, right? God says, I get it. And he told Joshua, because he knew Joshua was gonna feel this. So he said, Joshua, before you even take a step of faith, I need you to know it's not just my promises that I want you to hold on to. Joshua 1, this is verse 5. No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you or forsake you. You can hold on to my promise, but when that doesn't seem to be enough, grab the other handle on the other side, and that's my presence. And when I'm with you, there's nothing in this world that can touch you. You got my promises and you got my presence. That's number 2. Hold on to my presence. We look at our life and we go, according to what I see, you're not even here. Oh, I know you said you'd be here, but look what I'm going through. Look what happened in my family. Look what I've been praying for that still hasn't come true. Look what the dream you put in my heart. Is there any progress on that? So we look at the things that we can see that give false readings of his presence, and then we decide, well, what I can see tells me God's not here, so God must not be here. And that's why he says you can't just look at what you see. You got to hold on to the unseen. And the unseen promise is, I'm with you. I'll be closer than a brother. I'll never leave you or forsake you. We know how this works. We've seen it before. We've heard of it before. We go jump in the flood, and God's going to part the thing, and we're going to go across. And they went and they go, do your thing, God. And you know what they felt? Nothing. Because the miracle happened 30 miles upstream. Hasn't got to them yet. We were looking all week at what's the average water flow of the Jordan River in this time of year, and there's all kinds of variables, but what we know is for sure this water that was miraculously stopped 30 miles away goes like this for hours before it gets to them. The miracle happened the second they stepped in. They wouldn't see it. They were gonna have to stand. Remember, God said, don't just go in the water this time, Joshua. He said, this time, go and stand. God, I did everything you said. Nothing's happening. You know that feeling? God, you told us to start giving. Now look, you told us to take a risk. We thought you told us to move here. We thought you told me to take this job. Why is nothing working? I've been believing, I've been obeying, I've been praying. All they got is a flood. They've got no proof that God's doing anything. So they were gonna have to hold on until they saw God's power show up. They could have stood there for 2-3 hours and went, we misheard God. We screwed this up. I knew you couldn't trust that dude. Look at him. Like, we're out. And they could have just went back to their last campsite and they would have missed out on the entire thing. This miracle was gonna change their lives forever, change their faith, change their relationship with God, change their kids, change their future, change their family lineages. They could have missed out on all of it if they'd have walked away, because in their mind, in their estimation, God must not be doing anything because I don't see it. And the truth is, God had never been more active in their lives. And the miracle was all on the way. It was just a matter of time. They just needed to stand. Hold on to the promises. Hold on to the fact that he's with me. And after I do that, I'll just stand until I see him do what he wants to do. But I'm not walking away. I'm not gonna stop praying. I'm not gonna stop believing. I'm not gonna stop trusting. I'm gonna stand here for a minute. Sometimes we have to stand until we see his power show up. And that's okay, because we can do that. And just because your situation doesn't look like he cares and doesn't look like he's with you and doesn't look like he's doing anything, doesn't mean he's not. And I say that not just because we read it in the Bible. In fact, if I were to take this mic around all of our campuses, there'd be thousands of you that would go, I got a story like that. I have a bunch of stories like that. But the truth is, the first time I ever prayed sincerely as an adult, that's my story. It just took me a while to understand what happened.